So you're staring at this massive mountain of clothes. I mean, the hangers are packed so tightly you could barely even slide them apart to see what's actually in there.
Oh, yeah, the classic closet avalanche.
Right. Sweaters are just like stacked precariously on shelves. Shoes are a total jumble on the floor. You're looking at hundreds of items, right? Which is probably thousands of dollars and years of shopping. And yet you get hit with that incredibly frustrating feeling.
Yep. The old, I have absolutely nothing to wear feeling.
Exactly. It's a universal mystery.
It is. I mean, it's a paradox that defies all basic math, but it's totally universal. You're just completely paralyzed by abundance.
And that's exactly the mystery we're on a mission to solve for you today in this deep dive.
Mm.
We've got this fascinating document we're looking at called Identity First, Outfit Second, The Secret to Authentic Style.
Such a great read.
It really is.
Yeah.
And the core of this text offers a pretty uncomfortable truth right out of the gate, which is if you feel like you have nothing to wear while standing in front of a completely full closet, you actually don't have a style problem. You have an identity problem.
Which is, a huge shift. It completely reframes how we think about fashion because we're so conditioned to think about getting dressed as this purely aesthetic challenge.
Right. Like treating it like a math equation you just can't solve.
Exactly. Society tells you that if you can't put an outfit together, you just need better taste or bigger budget or like that one perfect capsule wardrobe you keep seeing on your social media feed.
Okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Because calling it an identity problem just makes so much sense when you think about the overwhelm.
Mm.
Like, think about your messy wardrobe like a web browser.
Oh, I like this.
Yeah, so you have like 100 tabs open at once.
Yeah.
The anxiety you're feeling isn't from a lack of options,
Right.
right? It's a total lack of clarity about what you're actually trying to look at.
Yes.
If you don't know who you're trying to be, you have zero filter. You're just staring at 100 open tabs of past purchases, impulse buys, and like completely different versions of yourself, and you expect them to magically organize into a cohesive outfit.
That's spot on, because without a filter, decision fatigue just takes over instantly. But, what's fascinating here is the psychological angle the text introduces.
Right, the psychology behind why we even buy all that stuff.
Exactly. Getting dressed isn't just about fabric or staying warm. The research shows it's actually a daily confession of identity. It's a really deep form of self-expression.
A daily confession. Man, that hits hard.
It does, right?
But okay, if it's supposed to be this honest confession of identity, why does it so often feel like a total lie? I mean, we've all had those days where you put something on, look in the mirror, and you just feel like you're wearing a costume.
Oh, totally. We've all been there. And that feeling, that costume feeling, is the symptom of the root cause, which is dressing for approval rather than expression.
Okay. The validation trap.
Right. Because we are fundamentally social creatures or heavily influenced by our environment. And the misalignment happens when you start outsourcing your style choices to external forces.
Like buying something just because an influencer told you it was cool.
Exactly. You buy the jacket because it's trending. You buy those specific sneakers because you want validation or they carry a certain social currency.
Oh, wait, let me push back on that for a second. On behalf of the listener here, if we're social creatures, isn't some level of dressing for approval just completely natural?
Sure.
I mean, if I'm going to a strict corporate office or a formal wedding, I have to dress for approval, right?
Mm.
I can't just show up to a boardroom in like vintage overalls because it aligns with my authentic truth. Are we really just repeating someone else's script every time we follow a rule?
No, that's a really fair question, and the source material makes a very crucial distinction here. It's about whether your clothing functions as communication or just decoration.
Communication versus decoration. Okay, break that down.
So yes, you need to communicate professionalism in a boardroom, but if you're stucking yourself into this stiff, totally generic suit that makes you feel invisible,
Just to fit the mold?
right, just to appease others, then you're treating clothes as decoration. You're wearing a disguise.
I see.
But if you approach it as communication, you still meet the professional requirement, but you tailor it to your identity. Maybe it's the cut or the fabric or some subtle detail that still feels like you.
So it's all about the intention behind the clothing.
Exactly. And the danger of dressing purely for social validation, especially with trends, is that trends are completely temporary.
Right, they disappear in a month.
Exactly. You wear a trend for the likes, but the style isn't rooted in your actual identity. So the dopamine hit fades, the clothes feel temporary, and you're just left constantly buying more stuff without ever feeling satisfied.
Which perfectly explains that endless cycle. You buy a trendy piece, the algorithm moves on, and suddenly that piece of clothing feels totally dead to you,
Yep, it's just clutter at that point.
right? It just hangs there, taking up space. So if dressing for validation is the trap, what is the actual alternative? How do we break this cycle?
Well, the logical next step is exploring what the text calls identity-based fashion.
Identity-based fashion.
Yeah. It's a total mindset shift. It means choosing clothing that actually reflects your mindset, your core values, and your personal evolution, not just whatever happens to be trending online.
So it's moving from asking what's trending to asking what reflects me.
Exactly. If we connect this to the bigger picture, every single outfit you wear is sending a message, whether you're aware of it or not.
You're always communicating.
Always. And identity-based fashion just ensures you're the one actually writing that message.
Here's where it gets really interesting, at least for me, because I compare this shift to learning a new language.
Oh, I like that comparison.
Yeah. So like when you buy trends just because influencers are wearing them, it's like you're memorizing trendy phrases from a tourist guidebook.
Right, you sound cool for a second.
Exactly. You might impress somebody briefly, but you don't actually understand the language. You can't hold a real conversation. But identity-based fashion, that's taking the time to actually learn the grammar.
The grammar of your own style.
Yes. You learn the grammar so you can speak your own truth. You aren't relying on a phrase book anymore.
That is a brilliant way to put it. True style is a fluency. But, as great as that sounds in theory, the text acknowledges that executing it is the hard part.
Right. Because it's a Tuesday morning, you're running late, and you still have to get dressed.
Exactly. Which is why the source provides a really practical 4-step framework for this. And step 1 is define your direction.
Okay, define your direction.
Right. And it explicitly notes that style isn't about who you were or who people expect you to be. It requires looking at the next version of yourself.
Okay, so what does this all mean for the listener? Like, if you are in a transitional phase in life, say, you're between careers or moving to a new city, how do you dress for an identity you're still trying to figure out?
It's tough, right? People usually panic there.
Yeah. It feels like trying to hit a moving target.
Well, that's exactly why step 2 is so important. Step 2 is choose your energy.
Choose your energy.
Yeah. Even if you don't have the job title or the destination totally figured out, you match your clothes to your current mindset and the energy you need. And the text gives some really specific pairings for this based on enclothed cognition.
Right, the psychology of clothes affecting the brain. So what are the pairings?
The first one is minimal equals control.
Okay, minimal equals control. Why does a plain outfit give you control?
Because it limits sensory boundaries. If your life is chaotic, putting on loud patterns and crazy layers just introduces more chaos to your brain. Paring it down signals to your brain that you are managing the variables.
You're lowering the cognitive load? That's so smart. What's the next one?
Bold equals expression.
Like bright colors and big silhouettes.
Exactly. If you need to stop playing small, wearing bold pieces literally forces you to take up more visual space in a room. You have to inhabit that confidence.
I mean, you can't really hide when you're wearing a bright red suit.
Exactly. Now, the third pairing is dark tones equal mystery.
Oh, I love this one.
Yeah, think about architects or artists who always wear black. Dark tones act as a kind of psychological armor. If you need to just observe or keep an emotional buffer between you and the world, dark tones do that.
They absorb the light instead of projecting it.
Precisely. And the last one is clean fits equal discipline.
Clean fits,
Yeah.
like structured tailoring.
Right. If you're grinding toward a goal, wearing oversized sweatpants physically relaxes your posture. Your brain gets the signal to slack off.
Oh, for sure.
But a structured collar or a really tailored fit, it physically holds you to a standard of alertness.
So even in a transitional phase, you can just pick the energy you need that day. I need discipline today, or I need boundaries.
Exactly. You're engineering your mindset.
Okay, so we've got the direction, we've got the energy. How do we make it permanent? Because that transitions us to the second half of the framework.
Right.
Step 3 is create your signature.
Right. A visual anchor.
Consistency builds identity. And this doesn't have to be a cartoon character uniform, right? Like Steve Jobs in the black turtleneck.
No, not at all. It's just a mental shortcut.
Yeah, it could be a specific color palette you always use.
Yeah.
Or a certain silhouette. Or even just a consistent vibe that makes you recognizable before you even speak.
Exactly. And having that signature is what allows you to tackle the final, most ruthless part of the process. Step 4, eliminate noise.
Oh boy, the purge.
The purge. The rule is brutal, but necessary. If an item doesn't align with your identity, it is clutter.
Period.
period. And clutter kills clarity.
I think about eliminating wardrobe noise kind of like sculpting.
Oh, how so?
Well, you aren't adding things to find your style. You are chipping away the excess marble. You're chipping away the trends, the things you bought just for validation. You keep chipping away until the true shape of your identity is finally revealed.
That is a really beautiful way to visualize it. You're getting rid of the static.
So, okay, if the listener actually puts in this psychological work, they define the direction, pick the energy, build a signature, and chip away all that excess marble. What is the ultimate payoff?
The payoff is massive. First, you completely stop overthinking outfits. The decision fatigue is just gone.
You get your mornings back.
Yes, and you feel far more confident because there's no cognitive dissonance anymore. But the biggest thing, you actually become recognizable and you attract the right people.
Because authenticity is magnetic.
Exactly. People can sense when you're comfortable in your own skin. And what's really cool is that modern brands are actually catching on to this shift.
Wait, really? The fashion industry is catching on.
Some of them, yeah. The text mentions brands like BKLEO clothing.
Right.
They're realizing that the future of fashion isn't about giving people endless micro trends and more options. It's about providing more meaning.
Because giving people a million options is what caused the paralysis in the first place.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The future is about helping people tell their personal stories through their clothes.
That is such a crucial distinction. I want you, the listener, to think about your own wardrobe right now. Look at the brands sitting in your closet. Are they just selling you endless options, keeping you trapped on that treadmill? Or are they actually helping you express your meaning?
That is the question.
It really makes you evaluate every piece differently.
It does. And this raises an important question for how you approach tomorrow.
Okay, let's hear it.
Tomorrow morning, when you stand in front of your closet, you have to break the old habit. Do not ask, what should I wear today?
Throw that question out.
Exactly. Instead, ask yourself, who am I becoming today? And then just dress like that person already exists.
Dress like they already exist. I love that. Because style isn't something you just magically find while scrolling online. It's something you actively build from the inside out.
From the inside out, exactly.
Yeah. Well, we've talked a lot today about what the clothes you decide to keep say about who you're becoming. But I want to leave you with a final lingering thought to mull over. Think about this. What do the clothes you choose to finally throw away or donate reveal about the past versions of yourself that you were finally ready to let go of?
Oh, wow.
Right. What does your discard pile say about your own evolution? Something to think about. We'll see you on the next Deep Dive.